Today on Creators, we sit down with Natalie Gold.
Anyway, hi, and Natalie, how are you? I'd like to ask you a question.
How are you?
I don't know.
A YouTube reactor who's built a 500,000 strong community by feeling every story with her whole heart. She's here to break down how she did it.
And so I tried it and it just took off. Oh, I like this. This is what I'm good at.
What it really takes to become a YouTube influencer.
I'm always pretty honest, but I've had moments where I'm like maybe too honest. And I'm just like, this sucks.
And how she stays at the top of her game in a constantly shifting creator world. Have you ever thought about quitting?
Yes.
This is Natalie Gold, and this is Creators on Creators. Welcome back to Creators on Creator. Today we're talking to Natalie Gold, a creator whose reactions go way beyond commentary. She brings empathy, insight, and a genuine love of storytelling. And I say that from my opinion because she's addictive. Once you start watching, you're addicted to it because you want to know how she's going to react next. But and she does that in every video she makes. But we're going to dive into how she built her channel, how she connects so deeply with the audience that she has, and what she's dreaming up next. So let's just get into it, Sam. Ask away, my friend.
Anyway, hi, and Natalie, how are you? I'd like to ask you a question.
How are you?
I don't know. What originally inspired you to start a YouTube reaction channel?
Honestly, my friends did. I always have loved YouTube. Like since I was 12, I've just been like addicted to YouTube content. I was watching YouTube back in the days when it was like a guilty pleasure that you didn't talk about with anyone, and it was like a dirty little secret. My husband was the same way actually. And I remember when we were dating, I remember the day when we both discovered that both of us were YouTube addicts, and neither of us wanted to tell the other person. And I like saw him watching YouTube on his phone. It was a whole thing. Now it's like everybody watches YouTube, but. Yep. So I made videos kind of sporadically in my mid-20s, kind of always wanted it to be a thing I did on the side while I was working in casting in the film industry. And then when COVID hit, there was no film industry work. Everything had shut down and I had nothing but time. So I started devoting even more time to YouTube, but I wasn't making reaction content yet. I was just kind of trying a bunch of weird, like I had like one video that was like trying 5 at-home workouts, like just silly. I was just throwing anything at the wall to see what stuck, but nothing was really calling to me. Like I had all this energy to create and not a good idea.
We've been there.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, you're like, I have so much energy to devote to this, but like, I don't know what to narrow it in on, what niche to focus on. And I was just having a conversation with some of my dearest friends, and 2 of them both were like, you should react to Star Wars, because they knew that I hadn't seen a ton of movies. And they've watched me watch movies before. And they were like, we love watching you watch movies. Other people will too. And I was like, I didn't even know there was a genre of content that you could watch. Like, I didn't know it existed. And so I tried it and it just took off. And I was like, oh, I like this.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, wow.
This is what I'm good at. This is fun. And I hadn't seen so many movies and I was like, this is great. Like, but that was totally thanks to my friends. Like, I would not have come up with that idea without them.
What were the first few months like for you? How did it look behind the scenes when you were getting all set up?
Oh man, it's so weird to think back that far. I was such a sweet summer child. I was filming all my videos, same desk. This desk has been with me that whole time, but all the other equipment has changed. I was filming on my like iPhone camera with like just that microphone on the iPhone. Yeah. Editing on iMovie. And because like when I first started, I didn't think it would take off. And it's so embarrassing that like so many of my growing pains are so public.
That sounds familiar.
All the times I tried like a really crappy microphone, like, or they're like for some of my really popular videos, and I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, those first few months were really overwhelming because like the videos popped off right away because everyone was home just watching content on the internet, and some of those videos have like over 1 million views, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know what I was doing. It was so overwhelming. I remember just like getting inundated inundated with comments and suggestions, and I took everyone to heart at that time. And so it took me a while to learn like boundaries and mental health tactics, but because in the beginning I was just so stoked, but I probably overcommitted myself in certain areas and read too many comments. But it was a really fun, wild time, especially because like it was kind of weird because like, you know, the world was shut down and everybody was kind of like, oh, this sucks. I lost my job. And I felt really bad because I was like, I'm having a great time being home watching movies. But, you know, it was just the nature of what I was doing.
We have a hard time. I don't know about Sam, but I have a hard time looking at our early stuff too. And that was just 2 years ago. That's the sad part.
You learn a lot in a short period of time. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is like, it's never going to be perfect. You just got to put yourself out there and you're going to cringe. I don't really watch my old videos ever because I just can't stand listening to my voice. The only time it's like, I'm like, I already had to do that when I'm watching it, like to approve it to go up.
To like
you know what I mean?
edit it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, that's enough. I don't need to hear it again. Sometimes I might rewatch like an old like series video. I feel like the new season just came out and I want to refresh my memory. But sometimes I'll just watch like another YouTuber doing a recap of the last season of a show because I'm like, I don't want to hear it myself. But
was there a specific moment when you realized, hey, this could be something big?
Sounds like right away.
Yeah, it was right away for me, which is really unusual.
That's
I know
amazing.
for a lot of creators. Like most creators, you have to work at it for so long before you have any success. And I think in my situation, just because of the way COVID had affected everybody's internet consumption and everyone being at home, it was like immediate, which also meant that I was like really overwhelmed for the beginning.
Oh yeah. It feels like it's downhill from there.
Yeah, a little bit.
How do you
It kind of
top
does.
that?
Yeah, I don't know. It did kind of feel like, oh shit, like I don't know where to go from here. But like I just kept finding things to dive into, and like it kept getting bigger, and I was like, all right, cool. But like I've kind of always had this mentality of like, I'm just gonna ride this wave and have fun with it while it lasts. Like I try not to get too attached to the outcome of things, especially because I think creators, like it's rare that you have like an infinite lifespan as a creator on the platform. And so I just do things as I feel called to them and try to enjoy it while I'm inspired. And I don't know where my life will take me in the next chapter, but I try not to get too attached to like previous performance. But yeah, it was a lot in the beginning.
I bet.
How did your background, personal, creative, or professional, shape the way you approach the reactions you do early on, especially?
Oh yeah, I mean completely. So I went to a BFA musical theater program. So that shaped a lot because when you go to like a competitive theater program, you really have your walls broken down pretty quickly. You get really comfortable with wearing your emotions on your sleeves, embarrassing yourself in front of other people, like literally going to class after like a on your worst day of your life, and you have to like do an emotionally vulnerable scene in front of like catty theater students. Like that shit will thicken your skin and also get you very comfortable in bearing everything you're feeling and all your emotions, which lends itself to really like bold reactions. Like I feel things very strongly and I don't really hide what I'm feeling. It also gave me a good understanding for like plot structure and acting. And then when I moved out to LA and started focusing on casting, and also did a little bit of like behind the scenes stuff with my friends when we would make shorts, help my husband make his first feature, acted a bit on screen as well. I got to see a little bit of like how it's made, and it led me to like be really excited to dive into films that I'd never seen before with that lens, and kind of be able to give more nuanced commentary, at least on like understanding where a story was supposed to go based on like plot structure or like what a good acting performance was. But also I was really inexperienced with my filmography. Like I hadn't seen a lot of films, so I was still kind of like naive when it came to a lot of genres. So it just led to a lot of really like fun, crazy reactions because I hadn't seen a lot.
Oh yeah. Is there any movie that you've done or reacted to that you were like, man, this just stinks. This is horrible.
Yeah, there's probably been a few. And usually I've noticed that usually when I'm honest about, which I'm always pretty honest, but I've had moments where I'm like maybe too honest, and usually people don't like it when I don't like something. They're like, I click, because I think usually people click on a video because they're like, oh, I like this movie, I want to see how she reacts to it. And I'm just like, this sucks. Like, it doesn't go as well.
But do you filter yourself a little bit when you say that? Because I mean, I feel the same way when we're doing things. It's usually, like you said, people go there because they like whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
And you know that that's why they're there. And then when you're thinking, this is just god awful stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to say it.
Oh, I always say it. I'm freaking.
Okay, good.
I mean, I live by this motto: live by the truth. It's easier to remember. Speak the truth. It's easier to remember.
That's good.
I have a shitty memory anyway, so I'm not going to remember what I said, how I felt about something if I lie. So I'm always just honest. There are times when I know that my criticism is a little harsh, and I might try to temper it a little bit and be like, well, I'll keep that to myself, because no one needs to know that I don't really like this actor or something. But there are definitely times where I've been brutally honest, and it's backfired, and it is what it is. I'm like, I can't regret that, because and also opinions change over time. Like, I reserve the right to change my opinion. It's just, we're not saving lives here. It's just movies. Like, I think some people take it way too seriously, and I'm like, relax. Like, we don't all have to like the same thing. It's fine.
That's a good point.
But there are definitely things I think, like, I wish I could go back and rewatch, having seen what I've seen now. Like, I think I watched The Fifth Element very early on into my reaction channel, and that was such a weird movie to start with, not having like a lot of experience. I kind of wish I'd like saved it for a little bit later. I think I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. So
if you could go back to day one and talk to yourself and give yourself advice, what would it be?
So much. So many things. Some really basic stuff. I would tell myself, save the raw footage, because like for my first few videos, which were so big, like some of the Lord of the Rings and the Star Wars videos, I didn't save the raw footage, and I didn't know at the time that I was going to be making a Patreon page with my raw reaction footage, and I still get demands for those reactions, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have the raw footage anymore, in a way where like the movie isn't spliced in, so I can't share it because of copyright.
Oh, right.
So I would tell myself that. I would tell myself to delegate and find an editor sooner, because I think I overcommitted and did too much for a long time, when I could have hired somebody on much sooner. Although I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I found the best editor ever, and I've never had to find a new one. And so if I wouldn't have been working with him in the beginning, I wouldn't have wanted to hire anyone else. But
is he available?
And then also I would say, is he available? No, sorry, he's full time with me, baby. I poached him. He's great. But and then the last thing I would probably tell myself is like, cheap equipment has a way of being expensive. So just upgrade everything, do the research, and upgrade to the best thing first, because especially with microphones, I really took a while upgrading microphones, and I wish I'd just learned how. I think I was so intimidated by a condenser mic, and I was like, nah, I can make do with this Blue Yeti. And when I compare the audio now, I'm just like, it sounds so different. And so it's like, just if you can afford it, which I could have earlier on, I just was intimidated, I would have just upgraded things sooner.
What do you think has resonated most with audiences as your channel began to grow? What do you think it was? What was the secret sauce?
I think my authenticity and inclination to wear all my emotions on my sleeve.
I'm gonna cry again. I can already feel it. What is it? Did he come back? But is he older? Did he go back to the 40s or something? I'm gonna cry again. Oh!
It was probably what resonated with most people, because I'm very my my husband says this all the time. He's like, people have asked him when we meet people in public, is she really like that? And he's like, yeah. He just showed me, I just watched A Clockwork Orange with him, not for my channel, because he really wanted to see my reaction to that.
I love that movie.
And when I watch a movie with, oh man, totally messed up movie, man. Kubrick messes me up, bro. I can't with Kubrick. I'm too sensitive for Kubrick. But the whole time we were watching that movie, every time I looked over at him, he was just looking at me like he just wants to watch me react. So it's because I can't help it. I can't turn it off. So I think just the fact that I'm naturally like that, and I could just really let loose and wear my emotions on my sleeve, and also have reactions that people would hope for, like when they're showing a movie to their friend. People really resonated with that. It was like a validation of what they loved about that story.
Are you a quiet moviegoer, or are you always like nudging your husband, like, hey, that's probably oh my God.
Yeah. So in the theaters, I do aim to be respectful because like there's nothing worse than somebody talking through a movie. I think the only movie I had a really hard time with not whispering to my husband and I whispered, but not talking to him constantly was Wicked Part 1 was really difficult for me to not talk through. And because we both love Wicked, we both went to theater school. So the whole time I just kept being like, oh my God, they're doing, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. Like I couldn't be quiet, but it was also like a really big theater with huge, comfortable chairs. So like leaning over and whispering to him, like you still had so much space between patrons.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, oh, no one can hear me. The music's blasting. It's fine. But at home, like I can't shut up at all.
Oh, that was my follow-up was like, so are you the same way at home when the cameras aren't rolling? Are you like, do you react the same way?
Yeah, exactly the same way. And unless like if we're watching it with friends and I can tell it's annoying them, sometimes I'll be like, I'm sorry. Like I'll try, but usually my friends know that that's what they're getting when they watch a movie with me. And I'm just like, this is going to be like a talk through experience. Like if there have been times where I'll be like, why the fuck is he doing that? And my husband will pause the movie and be like, do you want me to answer it or do you want to just wait and see what's going to happen? And I'm like, sorry,
Just
so
push play.
yeah, sorry, just push play and my bad, but it's like I just get too excited and, can't help
That's
it.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Because I know we've talked to some other reactors who do like stuff for movies and they found it hard to talk during like their initial ones that they did. They were like, I found out after I edited it, there's only about 5 to 10 minutes of material because I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was something that came natural to you or if that's something you had to work on or
Not
your
at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. No, but my friends knew that when they suggested I start this. They were like, oh, you'd be perfect at this. And I was just like, this is a genre of content? Okay, I'll try it. And my husband, a lot of people have been like, why don't you make a video with her? But he's like one of those people who he'll sit through a movie silently and he has resting bitch face a little bit. So he'll just be, he's like, I would just be staring at the screen like,
yeah.
And then the end would come and he'd be like, oh, it's really good. I liked it.
Was there a particular video or series that shifted your channel into a new level? Obviously, Star Wars was big.
Yeah.
How do you follow up Star Wars? What did you follow that up with? And how successful was it?
Yeah, there's been multiple phases, kind of like the MCU, which was also a phase on my channel. Like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, Game of Thrones, other things that came later, like Avatar, The Last Airbender, Arcane, Stranger Things, Invincible. Like that animated stuff kind of became big on my channel. Animated films, some classic action flicks that I'd never seen that were maybe more geared towards guys, like because I have a large male audience base, or 80s flicks with, Schwarzenegger that I just never seen before. So there's been phases of things that have done well over the course of time. And then things that I never expected to do well, like RRR I was looking back on my channel and I was like, that was like a big random video that I never would have expected to pop off, and it did. So, but there's always been phases of stuff. Usually with the series, if a series is popular enough and trending, those can kind of help facilitate growth.
How do you decide what to do? Obviously, it sounds like you do a lot of research. You find out what's kind of trending, and you're obviously in the analytics of it as well. But how do you eventually decide, okay, today I'm doing this?
I have a Patreon page which does steer the ship a bit with polls. I mean, I'm the one that makes the polls, so I have a little bit of say in like I don't want to watch that genre today. And I'm a big fan of variety. I've never wanted to focus on one type of content. Even with the Marvel phase, which was very long, I still was watching variety throughout that because I just will get bored with one genre if I stick to that. I rely heavily on my community for a lot of feedback when it comes to what I'll be watching. They'll make me aware of shows or films that I've never heard of before through messages. Seeing what's trending is obviously important, but I don't always do trending stuff if I feel like it maybe doesn't overlap with my audience interest or it just doesn't overlap with my interests. So it's a mix of things, but definitely heavily reliant on my community.
Your audience, meaning do you go out and do you do your Discords, or do you just answer a ton of comments? Like who Like, how do you do
So
that?
I will say, like, I'm engaged in certain ways and not as much in others. I have a Discord, but I've always been notoriously bad at monitoring it. I have mods on there, and I have an assistant who checks comments on things. But as I've gotten deeper into the YouTube world, I've learned more about myself and the way that I handle submersion in the internet. And
Mhm.
I'm a very sensitive person. So there's certain things where like I'm in the know on my Patreon comments and on my YouTube comments, but I don't read as many or reply to as many anymore.
Yeah.
My live streams are a big way that I stay in connection with my like tighter community, like the people who really follow me can watch my live streams, and that's like my favorite way to interact with people, to be honest, because it feels more real.
Yeah.
But I have an assistant who kind of filters through things for me now and tells me what is being demanded and what's kind of going on. And then like I'll read a lot of the Patreon, YouTube comments myself as well and do the live streams. But yeah, I've kind of always been notoriously bad at Discord.
We understand. How did you navigate the transition from the YouTuber who's figuring it out to this creator with a large loyal audience? Like, how did you get from point A to point B, from there to here? Would you just say it was luck, or did you have a process that you stuck with no matter what? I mean, how did you get there?
You know, I feel like I was kind of just thrown in because the growth came so fast. So I feel like there wasn't really a transition period where it was just kind of like, we're figuring this out now on the fly because you have to. Like there's already, like the growth came so quickly in the beginning that it kind of made all of my growing pains very visible to everyone, but I think that was also kind of like an endearing thing because a lot of people could tell that I was figuring stuff out
Yeah.
as we went along.
It's genuine. It's a genuine thing. It's,
Yeah, it was
We do
completely
that all the
genuine.
time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think people can relate to that. So that was cool. I think the biggest things I had to learn since the growth came quickly were how to delegate, how to pull back from, because I overcommitted myself a lot in the beginning, not necessarily in the first few months, because that was like addictive and fun and I was totally down to learn everything. But I think after a year, I was still kind of maintaining the same, like I kept adding stuff to my plate without having like a full-time editor yet. And, the world was kind of starting to open back up. And all of a sudden it was like, wait, I would like to leave the house again. I would like to see my friends. COVID's not as big of an issue anymore. It would be
Yeah.
nice to get outside. And so I remember there was like one pivotal moment where I was like breaking down on the kitchen floor crying because I was like so burnt out and stressed. And my husband was like, how about we hire an editor? And I was like, oh, that would be good. That's a good idea. So that, yeah, the growing pains in the beginning, it was just like, had to figure it out as I went.
That's always been like the big milestone for people.
Yeah,
We
it
should
really
do it.
is. And it's so hard. Yeah, you should. It's great. I mean, especially if you can find somebody who really like gets you, because the first editor I worked with was fine, but like I worked with her for maybe like a month and then it didn't work out with her, thankfully. And then I brought Cameron on board, and Cameron, like, he just immediately understood my sense of humor and was able to elevate my content to a completely different level in a way that I never could have dreamed of. And I remember when we had like our first conversation after a few rounds of notes, and he was like, I don't mean to, be rude or presumptuous, but is it okay if I make fun of you? And I went, yes, make fun of me, please. And he was like, oh, great. Okay, cool. I was like, no, that's what I want. Like, roast me. That's fine. So, and since then we've just had so much fun. So if you find the right person, it can just really elevate your content and
Yeah.
make things so much better.
What is something that people may misunderstand about what it takes to grow a channel like yours?
Speaking from my own personal experience, because that's all I can relate to, everyone's path and work ethic or method is different. What I see a lot of people get held up on is like people believe that you have to know exactly what your game plan is when setting out to like start a channel or make content. You have to have everything figured out before you even release a video. And I just don't believe that that's true. I think the most important step is just putting yourself out there and releasing content on a regular basis, regardless of how perfect it is. Otherwise, you're just going to like constantly hoard material at home and never feel brave enough to post it. Like, you're going to be cringy, you're going to make mistakes. And I think people, you might think that others like have it all figured out, but they don't. And everybody says stupid stuff at one point or another, or makes a mistake or does something cringy. And it's just better to put yourself out there and be consistent, because that's how you'll learn. That's how you'll get better. That's how you'll get more refined. And that's when the growth will come.
How do you balance authenticity with trying to like make people happy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely prioritize authenticity like 100% of the time. It's just easier to be yourself, man. Like, it's just so much work to like try to give a specific type of commentary based on what people want. But I also know that people don't watch my videos to have a bad time. They watch for an escape, for a distraction, to have a good time, to feel good. So I know that, I want to come into a filming space in a good mindset, with an open mind, an open heart, and like ready to experience whatever I'm about to watch, not from a place of judgment, from a place to have fun. Because there have been times when I make that mistake and I am a little judgy or harsh on a piece, and those I'm like, oh, that was maybe a little negative. So I try to be more open-minded. There's definitely times when like my audience's comments have helped me out a lot, because there's genres or franchises that maybe I know nothing about, and their perspective can really help kind of guide me when I'm trying to understand something. Like when I do anime reactions exclusively on Patreon, just because Japan copyright law is crazy. And so that's just like raw watch along with me style reactions. Right. But like learning from my audience and getting their feedback, especially because I'm watching like Attack on Titan right now, like that kind of helps me understand what I'm watching better and can make the reaction more of what they want while also still being authentic to myself. So their feedback is really helpful as well. But I definitely prioritize authenticity over like any expectation to react to something a specific way.
When you sit down to shoot a reaction, what is your mindset? What is your mental and emotional approach?
I definitely try to make sure that I'm in a good or at least a neutral mood before I start filming. I've definitely had days where I'm like stressed and I sit down to start filming and I bring it with me to the reaction, and that's never good, especially because that's not what I'm trying to put out there, and that's not why people watch my channel. Like, I know they're watching my channel for positivity and fun and an escape. So I want to at least feel like I'm sitting down to film in a good mood. I always kind of sit down with each piece and try to have as much of an open mind as possible and ready to have fun. Even if I know what I'm watching is maybe about to be heavy, like I try to come at it from like an appreciative mindset and looking at the elements of, the cinematography or the editing or the score, whatever that I can appreciate. I find that the times I'm able to do that, it just makes the video more positive and enjoyable for people.
So how do you keep things fresh though when you're doing especially long emotional reaction?
Variety of content has always been really important to me for that reason, because I feel like if I get bogged down with one type of content too much, I start to kind of get bored or disillusioned with whatever I'm watching. Whereas if I keep the variety up, I'm always watching like a cartoon and then like a really graphic horror, and then like, which I hate horror, but I still subject myself to it, and like a superhero movie or like a silly comedy. Like, I just like to constantly keep the variety going because it keeps me more inspired and in a different frame of mind. I also just think life experience is important. Getting outside, touching grass, hiking, seeing people I love. Like, I take frequent breaks to travel and get away from the internet, get away from filmmaking and content and anything in general, and just like get outside and be away from screens. Like, that always helps me stay fresh.
It's a good idea.
How do you think your style of emotional reactions has evolved over time since you started?
It definitely has evolved over time. I remember when I first started, I still feel so strongly, but like, I was such a sweet summer child. There were so many things that just like wrecked me. Like, I remember when I started Game of Thrones, I really did not know what I was getting myself into. That show it was like a wrecking ball. I was like, I'd never seen anything so sad and awful. It was great, but like awful. Same thing with like, I remember when I watched Chernobyl for the first time, like ruined me. So I definitely have become more desensitized to certain things, especially like gore and violence. I still hate gore and I still hate violence, and I still can't stand it, but I can at least sit through a lot of it now and still appreciate the movie for what it is. Whereas I think when I started, it like would have thrown me off so much and made me too nauseous. So there's a lot of things I've become kind of desensitized to, but also there's a lot of genres I never even watched ever as a kid. Like 80s action flicks is a good example. They have such a specific type of camp to them. I remember when I first started, I couldn't appreciate it at all. I didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand this. And the more that I've watched, I'm like, oh no, I totally love this now. It just took me a while to really gain an understanding for that specific genre and appreciate it in an appropriate way.
As a child of the 80s, those films are so good because of how campy they are.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. A wonderful, horrible time for movies. If I could say, I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's a place. There's a place for it. I love it.
Yeah.
What creative risk did you take that ended up paying off?
Live streaming was definitely a big thing for me that I think has paid off, at least like even though my live streams aren't necessarily huge. Like I've had some big streams and it's grown my community in a different kind of way and made me feel more connected to my community as well. So doing live stream gaming over on my other channel or on Twitch, that's been a big thing. And then also just anytime I react to something really different that's out there, like that's kind of a risk. Like RRR I brought up earlier, that was like I was like, this is some foreign movie that's trending on TikTok and I don't know anything about it and we're just going to see what happens. So there's definitely been some films like that where I've just kind of sent it and sometimes the reward is really high.
Yeah. What do you think keeps your audience so deeply engaged with your reactions? I know we've talked about you being authentic and things like that, but why do you think people like myself? I mean, I suppose I could give you my ideas, but I mean,
yeah, maybe you could tell me better than I could answer it. Honestly,
but
I don't know.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I mean, I do think it has to do with the fact that I just kind of say whatever pops into my head, and some people resonate with that. I also think my self-deprecating humor is helpful. And Cameron, my editor, definitely amps that up because, like, I'll say stupid stuff all the time. And I tell him, I'm like, if I say something stupid, just make fun of it because we're going to get roasted anyway. So, like, we just got to get ahead of it, you know?
Yeah.
He almost, I feel like, is playing the audience in his edits, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it just makes our content slightly more self-aware. And so I think people resonate with that when they see, like, okay, like she said this stupid thing, but she's acknowledging it, or like we're making fun of this thing together and it's funny. I think the humor in my reactions, whether it's from a joke I made or his editing, resonates with a lot of people.
What's one piece of audience feedback that genuinely changed how you create? Was there a moment?
There's been like a lot of moments because I do feel like I rely on my community a lot for feedback. I never would have started a Patreon page if it weren't demanded by my community. Like, I didn't even know what Patreon was. And it was very early on in the creation of my YouTube channel that people were demanding that. So that was like a huge thing that has really shaped the way I interact with my community, the types of content that we watch, because I do polls over there.
Why did they want the Patreon?
A lot of them wanted to watch like the full movie along with me.
Ah.
That was like the main reason, is that they were like, post the full watch along style reactions over there so we can watch it, the whole thing with you. And it's so sweet because I've some people have sent me messages where they'll like show me on their big screen at home, or like the little screen at home with the movie on the big screen. And it's so cool. So yeah, I think that was the main thing. But also, you know, just anytime a lot of the stuff I watch is based on suggestions and feedback from people. Since I'm pretty bad at staying in the know on things, they keep me educated.
How do you think your reactions influence how people interpret the films and shows that you watch?
Yeah, you know, it's very thoughtful. I honestly don't think about it too much. I don't take it. I don't like think that I'm necessarily influencing people to think a certain way about a movie or show. Maybe I am, but I definitely don't think that, because most of the time I feel like people are watching the movie with me not for the first time. Like, they're going to go watch the movie first before they watch my video, for the most part. And so I feel like people are kind of coming in with their own ideas about something, and maybe I'm influencing how they look at something a second time or a third time, but I don't really take it too seriously, because I also think like opinions change over time. Art is so subjective. Like, I don't necessarily think all my opinions are right. Like no, this is just how I felt on the day that I chose to watch this thing. And if other people feel differently, that's cool too. Like, that's awesome. But I don't really view it as like a responsibility of influencing anyone. I'm just kind of like, do you agree? Do you not? Like, let me know. Yeah, that's cool. Some people get upset if I don't have, you know, the reaction they want me to have. But I mostly just focus on like the people who felt the way I did. I'm like, oh, that's cool. We thought the same thing. That's awesome.
Do you have a comment that was like, and I'm talking about like trolls,
Oh, a troll
a
comment.
troll comment where you like, what is the worst troll comment that you have ever received? And did it affect you, or did it like just, just rolled off your back?
So I've received a lot of troll comments. I honestly haven't read a lot of them recently. I created a system where, my assistant kind of filters a lot of things for me now. But there was one particular troll comment from the very beginning that has always stuck with me because I just think it's so funny. It never left my mind.
What was it?
It was when I watched The Empire Strikes Back. And so this is the second Star Wars film I'm seeing, mind you.
Sure.
The second one with the Empire in it.
Right.
And the comment said, did I really just watch a poodle pretend to not know what the Empire was? What a liar. Like basically accusing me not having seen the film for the first time.
Oh,
and I was like, dude, one, poodles are very cute. Thank you.
We've had comments like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Lots of people who are like, you're pretending to watch this for the first time. And I'm just like, bro, there are a lot of films where I've admitted to seeing them before I sit down to watch them. Why would I pretend with other ones? But anyway, I was like, first of all, thank you. Poodles are cute. Second of all, the Empire is in the first film. This isn't the first time we're meeting the Empire. Like,
Exactly.
I've already met them.
Yeah.
So that comment always stuck with me. And then now there's people in my live streams who call me Poodle still sometimes.
Oh, no.
And I love it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. Like, I understand. That one always stuck with me.
But did you respond to that? And how did you respond?
I don't remember if I did or not, actually.
Oh.
There's a chance that I might have and said, bro, this isn't the first movie with the Empire, but like, I don't know if I did or not. I used to react respond to a couple troll comments back in the day, but I haven't in a really long time. Now I'm just like, whatever. One time I received like an email that was essentially telling me that like, it was like shitting on me while like, I was like a collab that I filmed with one of my best friends. I filmed with her a few times and it was essentially telling me that like I'm not that pretty, but my friend is gorgeous and like can I potentially connect them? And I was
That's terrible.
That always stuck with me too. I was just like, first of all, that's fine. Second of all, no, I'm not going to connect you. Yeah, they're really funny, man. Like some of them can be really funny, but I don't see as many of them anymore.
But you learn, right? There's no point in poking the bear. It's just somebody who just wanted to say something and that's it.
Honestly, like because you have to learn this. There were a lot of times when I wanted to respond and I would just vent to my husband and he would always just say, they want you to respond.
Yes.
If you don't respond, they're sad. If you respond, you're feeding it.
Yeah.
Feeding the beast. So I just was like,
we never heard from that guy again.
We never heard from that guy again.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, now he has our resumes, apparently.
Yeah, he does. IMDb.
What's the best interaction you've ever had? Do you get recognized when you go out? Or did someone send you anything? I mean, has anything like that happen?
I mean, I've definitely been recognized a few times, and it's always like the most wild places. Like one time it was a TSA agent at an airport who's like checking your ID to get in the security line, and he just was like, do you do YouTube? And I was like, what? So there's been moments like that have been really cool. I think the most meaningful interaction I've ever had was just like I've received a few messages from people that tell me like they love watching my videos because I remind them of someone they love that they've lost and they used to watch movies with them. And so it's like an opportunity to like kind of replicate that like shared human connection that they're maybe missing. And that always means so much to me when I hear that. That's always like, oh,
that's great.
I love it. It always happens like in the most like unexpected times. I was also recognized at a Ralph's one time too. And that was like by the meat counter. And I was with my husband and like I never look good when I go to Ralph's. Like so I was just like, oh, hello. Great. Thanks. But it's always that's so sweet.
It is nice to hear when people like at least say nice things about you. At least it's not the bad ones that approach you at the Ralph's or anything like that. That would be uncomfortable at the very least.
It would be uncomfortable.
How do you personally see the reaction genre evolving? Are things changing over the next few years, do you think? Or have they been stagnant?
Or will you be changing?
Yeah. I mean, I think like Well, we all be changing. I don't watch a lot of React-based content, which means like I'm probably not like the best person to ask because it's not really a genre. Like I make content in the genre, but I don't necessarily watch a lot of it. Mine is so tied in specifically with like TV and film and stuff. So like because I don't do music reactions or like internet content reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tied into the film industry, which is in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like the main things that are successful are like horror or big franchise IP or like the odd trending series here and there. So it does make it a little more challenging if you love variety or independent films like I do. But so I'm just kind of waiting to see how things maybe shift in the next few years, and also trying to capitalize on the things that are popular when they're popular. There are certain things that even when they're popular in the theaters, I don't watch, like the live action Disney films. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I can't in good conscience do that. But, you know, I'm not really like a big future plan person either. Like that's probably not great to say, but I've kind of always lived in the moment and just kind of ridden waves as they come. And
Are there any new formats or collaborations or creative directions that you're excited about or you want to explore more?
yeah. Because of my hip surgery, I've been sitting home reading a lot. So I started a book club. That's been fun. That I'm really excited. We're like reading the first book right now, which is Red Rising. So that's on the Fable app, but I'm going to be doing monthly live streams where we discuss the books on my other channel and on my Twitch stream. So I'm really pumped for that. Yeah. I'm probably going to start like a spicy romance section of the book club too, because I just think that's fun. And like I feel like that's a whole genre of stuff, like not necessarily that it has to be spicy, but just like romance or even like girlier content. I don't feel like I have the freedom to explore it as much on my main channel based on my audience base. Like I do have plenty of females in my audience base, but it does skew majority male. So having like an outlet for that I think is a lot of fun, even though there's plenty of men in that section of the book club now, which is great also. But you know,
what is something that you haven't done yet that you would like to do on your channel?
That kind of plays off of what we were just talking about. I kind of would like to dive into slightly more like content that's maybe skewed more for the girls and the gays. Like I think that would be fun. Like you know, there's some romantic films like I never watched, like Crazy Rich Asians, like something like that could be a lot of fun. And I've generally like steered away from those things in the past just because I didn't think they would perform as well. Like I did a drinking game to 50 Shades of Grey years ago, and that video didn't really pop off, but it was a lot of fun.
That sounds fun.
It was a lot of fun to make. I did it for Valentine's Day and just got hammered watching that movie. So that was a good time. And then also like I think it could be fun to maybe do like a series focused on like B-rated movies, like renowned bad movies, like movies that are accepted to be bad.
How do you stay inspired in a job that actually is always asking for more content? How do you stay inspired and you don't have burnout?
I mean, I've definitely had burnout many a time and I've had to just kind of work through it. If it gets too bad, I've taken breaks before. Like I've taken full months off before where I've like kind of stacked content up a little bit, at least because I film so far ahead sometimes on Patreon that I'll at least kind of still be releasing videos on YouTube. But I'll take time off. That's a big thing for me to just like get outside, touch grass, get out into nature, travel, experience new things. Like that for me is what kind of keeps me grounded and helps me stay inspired.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
How were you close or?
I've had, it's hard to say. I don't think I've ever been that close, but because usually like, you know, I'll just take a break and then I feel okay after. But I think I've reached a point where like I still enjoy what I do, but I don't think I'm going to do this forever. Like I think unless I find a totally different type of content where I feel like I can do something new and different, like this only has so long of a lifespan for me. But I don't necessarily view that as like a bad thing. I've had a lot of jobs in my life already, and I've always kind of called myself like a jack of many trades, master of none kind of person. Like I've always been notoriously bad at like committing to one thing. So I've never really known, like every interview I've ever had where they're like, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, oh, I don't have one. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't have one. Like I can't answer that question. I figured out what I'm doing this month. Like,
and that's pretty good.
Yeah. And like there's certain personal goals that required more long-term planning, but when it comes to my career, I've never really been like a big picture person. It's just not something that excites me. And yeah, so I kind of have always been open to the idea that maybe in 5 years I'll be doing something totally different because life is, there's just so much out there to try.
Now you have, I think it's over 500,000 subscribers on your main YouTube channel, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of people coming for collaborations? Do you have any management that helps you out with this? I know you have your own assistant and an editor, but if you didn't do any of those things, like get a management team, or you don't do like, sponsorships and things like that, why?
I have had a management team for a while. I think since 2021, I've been working with Up North.
Oh, wow.
They're great. I love those guys. They manage me for like just sponsorships mostly, but like they've also given me like creative guidance talks before, or connected me with like when I was trying to hire another editor that I worked with for a while. They connected me with like a job site that's focused for creators. So they've given me like a lot of tools and connections. They've gotten me invited to like industry events before, but mostly what they do is focused on like the sponsorship side of things.
Right.
But they've been great. I've worked with them, I think, since 2021. It's been a while. I'm probably like an inferior creator when it comes to like capitalizing on all the platforms. I can't stand Twitter. I just can't stand it. I'm like, I don't even want to like assign that to anyone because I don't want to look at the platform. So, and then Instagram, like I've had phases where I've been okay at posting on there, but like I never have the inclination to take a photo of myself ever. Like I never have that inclination, and it's hard for me to even like remember to do it. So I've really just been consistent on YouTube and with live streaming, and I've kind of just reached a point in my life where I'm like, I don't care. I would rather have a smaller audience base and a smaller following, and just do what I feel called to do and not worry about all the other platforms. But I do, to stay healthy, my assistant, she does help me with like managing comments and messages and lets me know like, okay, here's what's being said here. Here's a concern over here. Here's some feedback and suggestions. Like she keeps me in the know. And then I do also look at some of my own comments in certain platforms, but she mostly manages those things for me so that I'm not like in the dark.
Yeah.
And that's just healthier for me personally.
Because that's the hard work. I consider that like the
mentally
the
taxing
legwork.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of it is fun. It's just like when you're we weren't meant as humans to like absorb everyone's feedback 24/7.
Yeah.
But in a job that's so inherently tied to social media and feedback, it's like you'd be doing your job poorly if you weren't in the know on it. So it's this weird balancing act of like, okay, how do you take care of your mental health and give yourself what you need while also not letting your business suffer? And I'm not perfect at it. Like I could be much better at it in a lot of ways, but I've also kind of just come to terms with the fact that like I'm okay with not reaching the absolute peak of like the most views and the most subscribers. Like I'd rather be happy and not mentally stressed.
What do your family and friends think about your status as an online influencer?
My status. I have a very supportive group of friends and family. Like the vast majority of them are really supportive. I have a cousin who thinks it's really cool because he's like 9, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, don't grow up because you'll realize what a dork I am when you get older. And like a couple of my friends, I have a couple of friends who watch some of my videos, which is really sweet. And most of my friends and family are very, very supportive. I mean, there's maybe like a couple in like the extended like family friends or some family members who have like thrown me a little shade where I'm like, oh, they definitely think this is like not a real job. And I'm like, that's fair. But they're like, you're not a lawyer or a doctor. I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
What is this? And I'm like, I went to theater school. I was never going to be doing a real job. Like,
hey, a real job just means you get a check. That's all that means.
Yeah.
That's all that means. Doesn't matter what it is. You get a check. It's a real job.
It's true. It's true. And I get paid more than I did when I was working a quote unquote realer job in casting. So
yes, there you go.
Hey, but it is funny. Most people are very, very supportive though.
Yeah. What equipment or software do you use, and what do you wish you had but don't yet?
I feel like I have pretty much everything I want except for I've thought about getting a stream deck for a while for my streams, but my desk is very small. It's actually not that big, and I've used the same desk this whole time. But we're going to be moving later this year, and when we move, I'm getting a bigger desk, and I think once that's done and we're all set up, I'll commit to trying out a Stream Deck. But like I use OBS for everything, a Sigma lens. It's like an autofocus 24 millimeter. Shure SM7B, Sony A6000, all the stuff you need for the Shure SM7B, like the cloud lifter and stuff. It's all pretty basic. The lights I use are lights that they're like these LED lights that you'd see on like a film movie set, because like my husband has made his own feature and has made some shorts, and so I've stolen some of some of his equipment. I've stolen some of his equipment before.
He knows where to go if he's missing something.
Yeah. I used his boom microphone for a long time, for many years, and I still use it when I collab, because like this is better for one person.
Sure.
So when I film with a friend or somebody next to me, I'll get the Rode NTG5 out and we'll use that.
Nice. That was more than I thought I would get out of you. That was pretty good.
If you ask me specs on my computer, you won't get. I'll be like, I don't know. They're good. It's good.
I was just gonna say, a microphone. I use this white thing here. There's a thing with LED lights on there. There's stuff over there. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
What kind of computer do you use? Is it a Mac or a PC?
PC. I can tell you that.
You know?
It's a PC.
Or do you know?
It's Windows PC. I upgraded it a little while, like back in 2023. I think I upgraded a lot of it because stuff was falling apart.
Yeah. Have you always been a gamer, or is that something you've always enjoyed, or did you just get into it recently?
So there's a joke on my live stream that I say to people where whenever I'm floundering, I'm like, I'm a pro gamer. I'm a pro gamer, because I'm not. I'm much better than I used to be, though. I was so bad when I started. There's this really funny YouTube video. I can't remember the exact title, but it's something to do with like teaching my girlfriend how to game. And it's this guy who's teaching his girlfriend gaming. And it's so funny, is it really exemplifies how learning how to play a video game is like learning a language. And if you didn't grow up playing games, it's like you're starting from square one. And it's exactly how I felt when I started. I just did it on a live stream with like people watching. So there was a long period of time, and it's still going on, but I have a much better literacy with video games now. But I was very bad for a while until I finally tried Elden Ring.
I was going to ask you, is that your favorite game?
No.
Oh, I
hated it. Oh. It's horrible. I mean, it's great, but it's horrible. It's a great game. It deserved the awards. It's like you want to bang your head into a wall. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
The Souls-like game, it's torturous. I beat like 2 bosses and almost beat a third like 15 times, and then I rage quit and I never played it anymore. So that was my experience with Elden Ring. But it was like trial by fire, where you actually learned how to game from that. A lot. No, Stardew Valley is probably one of my favorites. I grew up playing, I didn't play any games except for, I had like a Game Boy as a kid where I played like the old school Pokemon games.
Oh, yeah.
And Stardew Valley is pixel art, so it already like felt very nostalgic for me, and I just loved like all the different storylines in the world, and you could marry all the different people, and there's a lot of options. I like that game a lot. It was really...
Is it through Steam, or where do you get your games?
Yeah, that's through Steam. It's better to play it on PC, but I've played it on the Switch before. I'm also playing for the first time ever. I'm playing through Skyrim right now and loving it. That's very cool. It's a fun game.
That's one that's a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll finish it. I'm pretty known for not finishing long games that I start. Like most of the games I've started, I haven't finished because I don't have the endurance to do those like 8-hour live streams that some people do.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
I can't either.
No, my body can't. It like hurts.
No, I don't know how people do it. Maybe when I was 14 or 15, I could have maybe done that. And I probably did do that, but I couldn't do it anymore. No. Okay, we're going to do one last thing. I promise this will be fast. This is our rapid fire round we do at the end of every show. We did not send you these questions.
What's the first reaction video you ever filmed but never posted?
Napoleon, I think.
Why did you put that out?
I hated it, the movie. It was a really, really negative reaction, and I wanted to die by the end of it. And I was just like, I can't show this to people. It's so bad. Like, I actually am a huge fan of Ridley Scott. I named one of my dogs Ridley, but a lot of his newer stuff bums me out.
Okay, what movie made you fall in love with storytelling? Is there a specific movie?
There's not. I mean, I've been dancing around performing musicals in my parents' basement since I could walk. So I think I always just loved stories.
The reaction that surprised you the most.
Maybe
I was going back and looking at some of my older videos, and I think I was pleasantly surprised by the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So maybe that one.
Is there one one TV show or something that you would react to forever?
I used to say, I never reacted to this because I've seen it too many times, but I would probably used to say The Office. But if I could go back and rewatch another one, I probably would want to go back and rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really loved that show. It like has a special cozy place in my heart.
Is there a creator besides us that you love to sit down and talk craft with?
Or do you have one you've done that's your favorite?
I haven't really like done any like public but conversations with people, but I'm dear friends with Pixel Playhouse. He makes musicals on YouTube. And so whenever I need to talk like shop with somebody, he's like my go-to person. I've talked a little bit with Dead Meat, and I'd love to have like a more in-depth conversation with him sometime. But yeah.
Okay. All right. These are going to be
and you guys, of course.
A movie moment that always gets you.
When big, tough bros cry.
Oh. Characters you relate to more than you expected.
Oh, there's a character in Attack on Titan that I didn't expect to empathize with in an episode I watched recently, and the episode focused on her, blew me away. Her name was Amir. Also, like, I think when I started watching Avatar, let's bring it back to Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko is one of those characters too, I think. But yeah, pretty much any misunderstood bully type character where you get like that empathetic backstory later, it's like,
The one emotion you're most comfortable showing on camera.
I think laughing. I laugh at myself a lot. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. I laugh at things that maybe aren't funny. So I definitely laugh a lot. It's probably the thing I'm most comfortable.
One emotion that's harder to share.
Unfortunately, probably none of them, like to my own detriment sometimes. Like I get, like I probably should keep some things to myself sometimes, but I'm pretty like, I'm an oversharer. So there are moments when I get like angry or judgmental and I probably should tamper them down a bit, but I don't really have a hard time sharing anything.
Is there a comfort movie? Do you like comfort movies?
Yeah, certain animated movies are comforting to me. Like I haven't done this on my channel yet because I actually wanted to save it to react to with somebody else since I've seen it, but like the Iron Giant.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
my wife loves
some
that.
really, oh yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. Also, there's like some really bad cringe camp movies, like Twilight is a huge comfort watch for me. It's so comforting for me. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's good. So things like that, Twilight's definitely one of them.
Is there a director that you'll always watch?
I would probably say that for Ridley Scott, even though some of his newer work has disappointed me, because I'm such a big fan of his older work. And also, like, I've become a big fan of, oh my God, I always pronounce his name wrong. Hold on. Yorgos Lanthimos. I've been liking his stuff a lot, like Poor Things. I saw Begonia recently. I still need to go and watch The Favorite. I've been meaning to do that, but I think he's really interesting. I also like Denis Villeneuve a lot, so that they all kind of fall into that category for me. And then I wouldn't do this willingly, but I've been against my will exposed to Kubrick repeatedly. And I think he's great, but he's also very disturbing for me.
A movie you wish you could see again for the first time?
Well, we were talking about this earlier, and I would say probably The Fifth Element. I wish I could watch it now, knowing what I know now. Because I think I was coming at it from a really weird expectation and not having seen anything like that, or not really being exposed to a lot of sci-fi. And I think I would probably enjoy it more now if I could watch it for the first time today.
Sweet, salty, or spicy?
Sweet most of the time, I think.
Pre-filming ritual you swear by?
I swear by putting on makeup and doing my hair. Coffee. I always will make a nice cold brew. Sometimes I'll drink it during the movie if I'm filming early enough. Sometimes I do a vocal warm up if I feel a little crusty, like a little, like what did they do in High School Music? Like,
yeah. Editing, is it soothing or stressful? Do you even edit anymore?
I don't edit at all anymore.
So when you were editing?
Used to. I think for the most part, I found editing, it was like a mixture where I dreaded it and it also was soothing. Does that make sense? Like it was a relaxing thing.
Yeah.
If I got in the zone with it, but it took so long that it was kind of also dreadful to start. But once I was in it, it was fine.
Most chaotic thing that happened while filming?
I remember in my first Stranger Things video, there's this bar under this desk, and it's the bane of my existence. And there's a jump scare early on in the first Stranger Things video where I banged my leg so hard. And like, I didn't pause the episode. So like the reaction just keeps going with me like keeled over, like, oh God. Like, just in a lot of pain. That was pretty chaotic. I also, I think this was The Exorcist. I could be wrong. It was maybe it wasn't The Exorcist. It might have been like Hereditary. It was some movie about demonic and possession where I think it was the plaque fell over off my shelf while I was filming the intro, like out of nowhere. It's never fallen before.
Do you have it on? Is it on film? Do you have it? You caught it?
I think it's in the intro. I wouldn't have cut that out. Like it's either Hereditary or The Exorcist, or maybe it was The Conjuring too. That was another option where it could have. It's one of those movies where something fell off my shelf and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I was so scared, and I hadn't even watched the movie yet.
That's gold. Well,
I know
I'm playing off your name, but
it's never fallen ever. That was the one time it fell ever. I'm like, what's going on? Like it was crazy. And like people would think that was staged, but it was not.
One thing viewers would be shocked to learn about your setup.
Well, my office is actually a mess. You can't see it on the camera. It's all off screen, but it's a mess.
While you were editing, did you ever often give yourself like a note, like never show that or anything?
I definitely. So sometimes when I was editing, if I filmed something where I said something really stupid or bad and I was like, oh, don't put that in there, I would like make a little note on the Post-it note and then I would put it on my monitor so I would remember while I was editing to like go change something or cut something out. Also, like censoring like boobies and things, where like that can't be on YouTube. Like there's certain things where I'm like, we gotta scrub for that. And it's funny because my editor's gay, and so he's always like, Natalie, like this is torture. Like I have to like scrub for boobies like all the time. Like when I was doing Game of Thrones, both of us were like, oh, there's a boob in the back. Like we missed a boob,
Oh my gosh.
So things like that.
A lot of boobs in that one.
And like there have been times where I've posted something and I've had to like been like, oh my God, like somebody in my audience is like, there's a tiny one in the back. And I'm like, and I've like had to go private the video, use the editor, fix it, and then we're okay. But like for the most part, we catch them all, but it's challenging sometimes. Catch.
One thing you hope your channel always stands for.
Oh, like a happy distraction and like a nice, comforting, fun place for people to be.
You did it. We did it. We got through it. See, and Sam, we're okay. We got an hour. But we do want to give you a huge thank you for joining us. And also being very open and
thank you. This
and
has accommodating.
Been so much fun. But for those of you who are watching this, please go check out Natalie Gold. All the information of everything she's got is on the screen or in the description below. Please go check her out. She's wonderful. I've watched literally hundreds of her videos and plan on watching hundreds more. And that's it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been so much fun.
Thank you,
it's so
Natalie.
nice to meet you guys.
And hopefully we can meet sometime in the future.
Yeah,
since you're
we're
in
not
the
too far
same,
from each other.
you're a neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll
best of luck to you.
Yes, best of luck to you. Yeah.